Good morning, my lady.
May it please the court, my lady. Morning.
I think Ms. Kekana, if you can try to, I don't know, you keep on appearing on my screen here. If you can just leave the meeting and restart. Dr. Kekana, can you hear me?
My lady, she's not appearing on my screen.
She's not appearing. Okay, I'll have to.
She's on my screen as well, my lady.
My lady, she's on my screen as well.
I still see she's appearing on my screen. She's not there on your screen, Miss Marriott? Okay.
My lady, she is on my screen as well, so she is still there. Oh, no, she's left now.
She's just there. Thank you very much. Okay. Nelisiwe, can you please place the matter on record?
Today is the 8th of June 2022, calling the matter of Life Esidimeni Inquest, case number I001 of 2021. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
As it pleases, my lady, the next witness will be Maletsatsi Elizabeth Mokoyo, witness number 33 on the sequential list of witnesses. My lady, I just need some assistance. I see Advocate Light, the camera is on, but I do not see the witness. Is the court able to see the witness?
No, the witness is not yet there.
I can't see it either, my lady.
My lady, I'll just request Advocate Light to leave the meeting and rejoin then.
Okay, that's fine. I will be yes. You say Ms. Mokoja is what number is she on the list?
33.
Yes, she is there. Nelisiwe, please swear the witness in.
Ma'am, please state your full names and surname for the record.
I'm Maletsatsi Elizabeth Mokojo.
Do you have any objections to taking the prescribed oath?
No, I don't.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
You are hereby sworn in. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Before you start, Ms. Merritt, good morning, Mrs. Mokojo.
Good morning, my lady.
Yes, I need to explain to you a few things before you start testifying.
Yes.
Because you are an interested party in these proceedings, I need to explain to you that as you have been called to testify, questions will be put to you for you to answer. If the answer to the question or questions will likely incriminate you, you have the right not to answer that question and tell the court accordingly that you will not answer the question for fear of incriminating yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, my lady, I understand.
Thank you very much. You may proceed, Ms. Margaret.
As the court pleases, my lady. Can we please go to page 397 on case lines? My lady, your statement is from page 397 to page 400.
Just a second for me. Just bear with me.
As the court pleases.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Mokhoja, are you at the page?
I couldn't hear.
Are you at the page of your statement, page 397?
Yes, I am, Miss Marriott Advocate.
Thank you. Can you confirm that this is a statement that you've made and that you initialed each page of your statement?
Yes, that is the statement I made, but can you go back? There's a paragraph that I need to look at.
I'll come back to your amendments pertaining to your statement. I just want to confirm that this is the statement that you've made during January 2019.
Yes, that's the statement.
Okay, and on page 400, you signed the statement?
Yes, this is my signature.
Thank you. And before you signed your statement, did you read your statement?
I read it, Advocate.
Thank you. And do you confirm the contents of your statement?
I do with the corrections, Advocate.
Thank you. My lady, I would then request that the statement of Mrs. Maletsatsi Elizabeth Mokhoja be handed in as Exhibit AA. AA1, my lady.
I will use the capital numbers now. Is there any objection to the handing in of the statement?
May it please the court, my lady, no objection.
Thank you. The statement of the witness, Mrs. Maletsatsi Mavis Mokhoja, is admitted into the record and is marked Exhibit AA, capital A1.
As the court pleases. Ma'am, can you please go to page 37502? Do you have the page? My lady, there's a hand of Advocate Pinar.
Yes, Mr. Pinar.
May it please the court, my lady, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to gain clarity. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't ended the alphabet with the exhibit numbering. If I'm not mistaken, we ended by Y last time.
I have to check, I can't remember.
And I just think maybe it would be more convenient if we carry
Do
on.
you have that,
My lady, Ms. Kekana was Z.
Yes.
Sorry,
Thank you,
thank you,
because
Mr.
that's what I
Conrad.
thought. Okay, thank you very much. Yes,
Thank you, my lady.
thank you. Miss Marriott, you may proceed.
As a court pleases. Mrs. Mogoja, do you recognize this document on page 37502 and 37503?
I do recognize it. However, my surname is not properly spelled at the top.
Yes,
I am Joa, not Yoa.
Thank you. Do you confirm that this is the amended statement that you referred to earlier pertaining to paragraph 4?
I didn't look at the sentence reference to the
Can you please
and,
go through, Ms. Mogoja, if I may? Just look at this document and read it properly before you answer, please.
Okay, I can see this paragraph, yes.
Did you go through both pages, ma'am?
I'm on the second one.
Okay. Do you confirm that you signed the statement at the end?
No, that's not my signature, this one.
I apologize, but do you confirm the correctness of the statement?
Yes, again at the bottom, the spelling of my surname is not proper. Joa.
We hear you. Just listen to the question, and then you'll add where it is necessary. First answer the question that you asked, and then after you have answered that, then you can just indicate the other things.
Okay. Advocate Profi, drafted this document.
Let's understand her evidence properly. I haven't picked it up. Have you gone through both pages and do you confirm them? The correctness thereof?
I confirm they are correct, my lady.
And this document was drafted by Advocate Profi pertaining to your amendment in your statement marked Exhibit AA. Is that correct?
I agree, my lady.
Thank you. My lady, may this document then be handed in as Exhibit AA2?
Any objection to the handing in of this document?
No objection, my lady.
Thank you, Mr. Piner. The document is handed in and marked Exhibit AA2. Thank you.
As the court pleases. Ma'am, do you have any additional information pertaining to the circumstances of the deceased that occurred at Masego House?
No, my lady.
Why do you say no? I just want to understand, why do you not have further information? What was your role? Okay. What was your role at Masego House?
My role as a director, I was responsible for operations, including finances and logistics.
Were you ever involved in the day-to-day caring of the patients?
No.
Were you ever in?
Just go slow, Miss Marriott.
I apologize,
to
my
give
lady.
the others the opportunity to write notes.
My lady, there's a hand of Advocate Pro.
Yes, I'll
Okay,
deal
you
with that.
It was addressed by the court.
Just a second, I'll hear you, Mr. Profi. Yes, Mr. Profi.
My lady, I couldn't take my hand down in time when it was merely to ask Ms. Mary to just please slow down for note taking.
Yes, thank you. Continue.
As a good business.
Please take into account that people are writing notes. You seem to be, I mean, it's like him, Mr. Profi. He never slowed down.
I apologize.
Thank you. Continue.
Thank you, Lady. Ma'am, were you ever informed pertaining to the circumstances surrounding the death of the patients at Masego?
Come again?
Was she ever informed about the circumstances surrounding the deaths of the patients?
Yes.
Yes, I was informed, my lady.
Okay. Did you provide any direction or action pertaining to the information received?
I provided the direction to the manager, my lady.
But you cannot assist the court pertaining to the surrounding circumstances, is that correct?
I was not directly involved, so I cannot. I relied on what my staff told me, informed me.
Thank you. My lady, I have no further questions for the witness.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from the team of Mr. Watbringel, SC?
May it please you, my lady, no, there are no questions from us.
Mr. Worders?
May it please you, my lady. At this stage, I don't have any questions for the witness, but my lady, I wanted to point out that I did note that there were more statements that are deposed to by the witness. I don't know if those will be dealt with.
Ms. Marriott?
My lady, if my colleague can assist me with those statements, I'm not aware of them.
For instance, there's one statement on 14703 on case lines.
Just a second for me. Yes, is there any other one, Mr. Peters?
There's quite a few, my lady. I can give you the
yes,
page.
If you can assist.
And then the second one, my lady, I've picked up is on page 14746.
Yes.
The other one is on 15692.
Yes.
The other one is on 16324.
Yes.
And another one is on 13745.
Yes.
Another one is on 15470. Another one is on 16826.
Yes.
Another one's on 16034.
Yes.
Another one's on 15933.
Yes.
Another one's on 16064.
Yes.
And the last one I picked up was on 14305, my lady.
Can I check with the other council whether they also picked up the same statements, or if there are more statements, we deal with them now before I give an opportunity to Ms. Marriott and to go and look at the statement before the witness starts with the further cross-examination.
Thank you, my lady. I can confirm that there are those additional statements.
Is that all from?
Those are the ones that I also picked up, my lady.
Okay. Ms. Marriott, I don't know how you would like us to deal with this.
My lady, I quickly went through these statements. It only pertains to a meeting that was held, and it's my respectful submission. It doesn't take the question pertaining to the deceased or causality any further.
All of them?
Yes, I quickly went through them, my lady. So I do not know whether the court wish me to hand those statements in, but it's the contents thereof look similar to me.
Okay, Mr. van Bergen.
Thank you, my lady. I agree with Ms. Marriott. The contents of those statements really only confirm that Ms. Mokgotjo's involvement did not or was not in the sphere of patient management or anything to do with patient care or treatment.
Okay. So in that case, then there won't be any need for them to be handed in.
I don't believe it's necessary, my lady.
Okay. Is that the feeling of everyone? I'm going to close the matter.
May it please the court, my lady, as the court pleases.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Mr. Pinar, do you have questions to the witness?
May it please the court, my lady, no questions. Thank you, my lady.
Mr. van Bergen.
Thank you, my lady. I just wish to ask some questions in clarification, also specifically relating to the scope of Ms. Mokgotjo's involvement, and then relating to certain allegations made in respect of Life Esidimeni on her behalf.
Okay.
Thank you, my lady.
You may proceed. Just before you proceed, is it, I'm going to ask that given the fact that I had my own connectivity problems and then we started late, is it not better for us not to take the tea break, continue until lunchtime?
My lady, I'm ready to proceed without a tea break, but there may be others who need to have a break at this stage.
Okay, can I?
We may proceed, my lady, it's in order.
Okay, thank you very
Please
much.
the court, my lady, no objection.
Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. van Bergen.
Thank you, my lady. Ms. Mokgotjo, if I may introduce myself, I'm Harry van Bergen. I'm the counsel for Life Esidimeni in these proceedings. Ms. Mokgotjo, if I can perhaps just start off with where we really ended in your evidence in chief, and that is your evidence that you were not involved in the day-to-day management of patients, and as a result of that, you can provide no information to this court as regards patient care, patient management, or any issues that relate to the circumstances that gave rise to the death of patients.
Counsel, can you repeat your question and perhaps rephrase it so that I understand?
Certainly. You testified that you were not involved in the day-to-day management of patients. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
You testified that, again, that you were not directly involved, and as a result of the fact that you were not directly involved, you cannot assist the court regarding the circumstances that gave rise to deaths of any patients.
I can assist the court with what my professional psychiatric nurses informed me about pertaining the deaths.
Yes, so the only evidence that you can give is hearsay evidence. Is that correct?
Does she understand what hearsay evidence is? Perhaps you can explain to her.
Thank you, my lady, I'll do so. So the only evidence that you can give, Ms. Mokhoja, is evidence of what you were told by other persons in respect of...
It's evidence that I was told by the professionals employed by Musako Home that have got more experience in psychiatric patients. And also, I took it upon myself as a psychiatric nurse also to go through the files on my own so that I can also have an insight or confirm what they have told me.
So if you could then explain your previous statement in response to a question by Ms. Marriott, when she asked you if you could provide or whether you could assist the court regarding the circumstances that gave rise to the deaths of patients, and your answer was that you could not do so as you were not directly involved.
Perhaps the question was not clear to me because...
Just a second, Mr. Profi. Can the witness step aside, Mr. Profi?
My lady, apologies for interrupting my learned friend, but the question was in the day-to-day running of the patient care. The witness then answered that she wasn't involved in the day-to-day. So that's my learned friend shouldn't confuse the witness in respect of the question that was put to her by Ms. Marriott.
Thank you, Mr. Penberg.
Thank you, my lady. I'll rephrase the question.
Thank you. Can the witness come back?
Ms. Mokhoja, the evidence or the answer to Ms. Marriott's question was in relation to your involvement in the day-to-day care of patients, and that you said because you were not involved in the day-to-day care, you could not assist the court on the circumstances surrounding deaths of patients.
Yes, advocate.
Now, as regards having perused the patient files, your understanding of that would be limited by the accuracy of those files and the contents. Is that correct?
Can the counsel rephrase his question?
As regards your perusal of the patient files, do you agree that your understanding of the contents thereof would depend on the accuracy of the contents and the completeness of the contents?
I am not comfortable answering this question because I am not sure where it's getting.
There is a hand there, Mr. Profi, and the witness can step aside. Mr. Profi, do you want to say something?
No, my lady, I think I didn't lower it from my previous objection.
Okay.
Apology.
Yes, the witness can come back. I thought there was a problem. Continue.
My lady, I will not answer this question because I'm not comfortable in answering it. I do not understand where it's taking me to.
Mr. van Bergen?
Thank you, my lady. Ms. Mokhoja, it is not taking you anywhere. It is whether you agree that, as a fact, seeing that you were not personally involved in the day-to-day care of the patients and in the compiling of the records, your understanding of those records would be limited by the correctness of the contents and whether the contents are complete.
I did say in my previous answer that I familiarized myself after the professional psychiatric nurses informed me of what happened. I familiarized myself on the files. I took time to also go through the files.
That is fully understood, Ms. Mokhoja, but my question to you is that going through the files, your understanding of what had happened would depend on the accuracy of the contents of the files and whether those files are complete. It's a simple question. I don't understand your difficulty in answering it.
Yes.
You agree with what I put to you?
I agree, Councillor.
Now, you testified when Ms. Marriott led you on your affidavit, Exhibit AA1, that you had, at the time that you signed it, read the affidavit and that you agreed with the contents as it was at that stage. Do you recall?
I recall, my lady.
And in fact, if one looks at your affidavit, if you could go to page 397. It's actually 398. And just indicate when you are at the page.
I think I am at the page. Is that the one with 6 and 7? Paragraph 6 and 7.
Yeah, it goes to paragraph 6 to 9, and I wish to refer you to paragraph 9. It is clear that you went through this affidavit very carefully, because we see that in the second bullet point under paragraph 9, you considered it necessary to make an insertion or a correction by adding the word other in that line. Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
So you would confirm that you went through this very carefully and that you made sure that it reflected what you wanted to convey.
I wrote what I know and what is the truth.
Yes. At that time, you were satisfied that what you wrote was correct and the truth.
I was satisfied, my lady.
And where you deemed it necessary to make a correction, you made use of the opportunity to do so, as is indicated by the insertion of the word other in paragraph 9. You agree?
May I not answer that, my lady?
Ms. Mogoja, what is your difficulty in answering that question?
It's because I wrote the statement, cancer, and after I wrote it, I read it, and then immediately when I read it, I saw that I omitted some words, and I inserted those words.
Yes, and that's all that I'm putting to you, is that you were very careful to make sure that it reflected exactly what you wanted to say.
I believe under
Ms. Mogoja, just a second.
Okay.
Ms. Marriott?
My lady, this witness already answered this question, and I don't know what is the real question Advocate van Bergen wants this witness to
Thank
come
you very
to.
much. Mr. van Bergen, in my view, the question has been answered
As your ladyship,
in
please.
detail, even then from the witness mouth. Continue.
Yes, thank you, my lady. Ms. Mogoja, you seek to amend your affidavit, specifically paragraph 11 thereof, which you will find on page 399. By inserting the word some in the first line, so that it reads, some of the documents we received with MHCUs during the GDOH Marathon project were the type of documents we received users with prior to the project. You agree that is the amendment that you wish to make?
I agree, Councillor.
Now, having been so careful in ensuring at the time that you signed your affidavit that it reflected exactly what you wanted to say and that it was the truth and correct, why did you not correct it at that time?
Apologize, my lady, the hand function doesn't want to work. May I object, please?
Yes, I see there is also another hand by Mr. Profi, but you may go first.
Thank you. My lady,
Can the witness step aside? Ms. Mogoja, please step aside. Yes, thank you.
My lady, we've already dealt with the issue pertaining to the credibility of a witness with other witnesses. And it's my respectful submission to go to finer details pertaining to wording of a statement. I do not see the relevance for those questions and what it will contribute to the causality finding pertaining to the deceased people or persons in this inquest.
Thank you, Mr. Profi.
My lady, I align myself with the submission by Ms. Marriott. I do not wish to belabor the point.
Thank you, Mr. van Bergen.
Thank you, my lady. The issue goes to motive. The reason why, when there was no previous issue regarding the records provided by Life Esidimeni, why the witness at this late stage seeks to make a point out of it. And I submit that goes to the issue of whether the alleged deficiencies which Mr. Profi cross-examined Dr. Mkachwa on are real issues, valid issues, or whether it is no more than a late attempt to divert blame. Now, I submit it is relevant, my lady.
Can I first hear Mr. Profi, then Ms. Marriott?
Really, I submit my learned senior can argue that point, and the latter part of his portions that whatever weight he decides, it's for the court to attribute that weight and not for Mr. van Bergen to engage with this witness to evaluate that weight.
Ms. Marriott?
My lady, even the evidence of Dr. Mkwachwa indicated that they provided sufficient documentation to the NGOs. What happened during the time the patient left Life Esidimeni to the NGOs, he cannot account for. So that evidence is already on the record. I do not see the relevance to proceed with this line of questioning.
Thank you. Yes, if you can just lower your hand, please. Yes.
My lady, if I may just respond to that, I'm in the position that I've been a number of times during these proceedings where I cannot anticipate what your ladyship is going to find. If the and I can't expect the court to make a ruling on this at this stage. I don't think it would be proper to do so. But I cannot assume that the court will accept Dr. Mkwachwa's evidence that there was sufficiency of as regards documentation. Hence, this is an issue that is important.
Yes, you have raised the issue, and yes, let me hear you.
My apologies. I'll try to short circuit it and see if I can reach the same end result with a different question. It may be a shorter route to take.
I just hope we're not going to be back to the same point, because I also feel that it's a matter for argument in case, yes, and it will also depend on the court's analysis of the evidence that is already on record.
As your ladyship pleases, that is exactly my difficulty. I can't anticipate your ladyship's eventual finding. I'll try to take a shortcut, my lady, if the witness may return.
Can the witness return? Yes.
Ms. Mokhoja, having gone through all the files, would you agree with me that you are not in a position to comment on what caused the deaths of any particular patient at Mosego Home?
I am not the doctor that examined the corpse to can come up with the cause of death,
yes.
Lady.
Thank you.
And by virtue of the fact that you cannot comment on what caused the death, as you have now stated, can you implicate any person or entity in those deaths, in having caused those deaths?
No.
And to come more closely to the point, you are not here, I take it, to accuse Life Esidimeni of having caused the deaths or having contributed to the deaths.
Just before the witness answers, Ms. Marriott.
My lady, the witness already testified she cannot implicate anyone. Now to further this aspect, I do not see the relevance.
Thank you.
My lady, I'm happy to leave it at that.
Please leave it at that. Otherwise,
your ladyship pleases.
Running.
Yes. My lady, in yes. The light of that answer, I have no further questions.
Thank you very much. Ms. Hassim, do you have questions to the witness?
I have no questions for this witness, my lady.
Ms. Munjara?
Yes, please, the court, my lady. I also don't have questions for this witness.
Ms. Foster, are you there? Miss Foster? I'm going to pass her if she's not there. Mr. Sibara?
It's a bless the court, my lady. We don't have questions to Ms. Mukhojo.
Miss Soboko? Miss Soboko? I'm going to pass her. Please tell them not to interrupt me while I'm busy because their turn has passed. Ms. Ramaimela?
May it please the court, my lady, we do not have any questions for this witness.
Thanks, Ms. Mhlapi. Ms. Koka?
No questions for the witness, my lady, as the court pleases.
Thank you. Ms. Maite?
May it please you, my lady, no questions for the witness.
Is Mr. Shavango present today, Mr. Pinel?
May it please the court, my lady, Mr. Shabangu is still disposed, but he said he would be following the proceedings. He'd be able to follow the proceedings, and I believe when I had my last discussion with Mr. Shabangu, that, and in the light of the evidence elicited, I believe he won't have any questions in cross-examination to this witness, my lady.
Thank you. Ms. Mboweni?
May it please the court, my lady, I also have no questions for this witness.
Mr. Manamela, are you there? Mr. Fichela?
May it please the court, my lady, we have no questions for the witness.
Miss Beauty Kekana? Dr. Kekana, are you there? Mr. Veselo? These people are no longer there now. Back to Mr. Profi.
My lady, I have no questions.
Thank you. I'm going to excuse the witness. Thank you very much, Ms. Mukhojo. Thank you. Ms. Marriott?
Sorry, my lady, for the interruption. Just to confirm, I've received a message from Mr. Shabangu that he, in actual fact, does not have questions for this witness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. As may it please the court, my lady.
My lady, we have a second witness for today, Dr. Doherty Sekoukuni, witness number 32 on the sequential list of witnesses. But may I request just a 10-minute adjournment so that we can change the witnesses and make the logistical arrangements.
All right, the matter we said can be stood down for 10 minutes. Thank you.
As the court pleases, thank you, my lady. As indicated, the next witness will be Dr. Doherty Sekoukuni, witness number 32 on the sequential list of witnesses.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Dr. Sekoukuni.
Good morning, my lady.
Yes, Nelisiwe, please swear the witness in.
Thank you, Judge. Doctor, please state your full names and surname for the record.
I'm Doherty Sekoukuni.
Do you have any objections to taking the prescribed oath?
No, I don't.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
You are hereby sworn in. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Doctor, because you are an interested party in these proceedings, I need to explain to you that as you have been called upon to testify, questions will be asked to you for you to answer. If the answer to the question or the question will likely incriminate you, you have the right not to answer that question and tell the court that you fear for incrimination of yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, my lady, I do.
Thank you very much. Ms. Merritt, you may proceed.
Thank you, my lady. Dr. Sekoukuni, can we go to page 388 on case lines to 391? Are you at the document?
Yes, Advocate, I am.
Thank you. Is it correct that this is a statement that you made?
Yes, Advocate.
Thank you. And that you initialed each page of the statement?
Yes, Advocate.
And that on page 390, you signed the statement?
Yes, Advocate.
And did you read the statement before you signed the statement?
Yes, I did, Advocate, except that I made an error. Instead of saying 2, I said 1. I think
We'll come to your amendment.
Okay.
Do you confirm the rest of the contents of the statement?
I do, Advocate.
Okay. The error that you indicate, it is on page 390, paragraph 11. It's the second sentence.
Correct. The third line from the top.
Okay. So is it correct that it must read the user only stayed for 2 days or 2 nights?
2 nights.
Can you just think? My lady, I would then request that the statement be handed in as exhibit number BB1.
Any objection to the handing in of the statement?
May it please the court, my lady, no objection.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pinar. The statement of the witness as it appears on pages 388 to 391 is handed in and marked exhibit BB1.
As the court pleases, my lady. My lady, the correction that the witness indicate can be found on page 37504 to 37505. It's a document prepared by Advocate Profes.
Yes.
I request that that document be handed in as Exhibit BB2.
Any objection to the handing in of the document?
No objection, my lady.
Thank you very much. The document as it appears on pages 37504 to 37505 case line, it's admitted into evidence and marked Exhibit BB2.
As the court pleases. My lady, before colleagues indicate there's several other statements of the witness, on page 6488,
yes,
and page 15681,
yes,
it's exactly the same statement as at page 388.
yes.
Thank you. Dr. Sekoukuni, can you please indicate to the court in what capacity did you assist Takalani?
I went to Takalani because I was approached by the Department of Health to be an interim administrator of the facility because Takalani was put under administration.
And what duties did you do?
Just a second, Ms. Merit.
I apologize, my lady.
Yes, continue.
What was your duties at Takalani?
I went there to restore Takalani to be effective and efficient in the running of the facility.
Did you work with any of the mental health care users?
Not directly, but I was involved with them as and when I went to the facility.
Yes, continue.
In what way were you involved with them?
For instance, when the user is sick, I'll be taken on a round to see what is happening with them. And also when they have sports, I'll be with them when they do their activities. So that's how I got involved with them.
Continue, Ms.
Doctor, thank you. Can you add to the circumstances surrounding the deaths of the deceased at Takalani?
The only contribution that I could do is that all the users that were there were most oftenly taken to the local clinic, which will refer them to a district hospital, which is Bekim Langeni, and they will also be referred to Chris Hani Baragwanath Academic Hospital. That's where the movement of those users would be. And from time to time, we'll have the visiting medical officer from Chris Hani Bara to check on our users there.
So you don't have independent knowledge about the circumstances surrounding their deaths?
I wouldn't have that. It will be like as informed by the nursing manager or the clinical services manager about the condition of the user.
Yes, continue.
And how would you describe the care given to the mental health care users that was admitted at Takalani?
The care was very well because users were allocated to the care worker as and when they are on duty, and it was much more of an individualized care because the care users were allocated to one care user to 2 or 3 mental health care users. So I'd say it's adequate in that line.
Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions for the witness.
Thank you. Yes, from the team of Mr. Watbringer, SC.
Thank you, my lady. As matters stand, we don't have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wood's team.
Thank you, my lady. As matters stand, we don't have questions for this witness.
Mr. Pinar.
May it please the court, my lady. No questions to this witness.
Thank you very much. Mr. van Bergen.
Thank you, my lady. On the basis of Dr. Sekoukuni's lack of involvement and lack of personal knowledge, I have no questions, but I reserve the right to approach your ladyship to ask questions should the need arise.
Thank you. If Mr. Sangoni, if you can just go off the camera. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Asim.
My lady, on the basis of this witness's lack of personal involvement, I also don't have questions for this witness, barring one, and that's just to confirm. If I may just put the one question to the witness.
Yes, you may.
Good morning, Dr. Sekoukuni.
Good morning, Counsel.
My name is Adila Hassam, and I represent family of the deceased. Dr. Sekoukuni, were you present or did you attend to Deborah Petla when she became ill at Takalani?
No, I was not there. I was only informed.
You were informed only after her demise?
Yes.
Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions.
Ms. Munjara.
As please the court, my lady, I also have no questions for this witness.
Ms. Foster. Mr. Sibara.
My lady, we don't have questions for the witness, my lady.
Mr. Buko. Ms. Ramaimela.
As it please the court, my lady, we have no questions for this witness.
Thank you. Ms. Oka.
May it please the court, my lady, I have no questions for the witness.
Ms. Maite.
May it please you, my lady, I have no questions for the witness.
Thank you. Mr. Shivambo, Mr. Pinar. Shavangu. Mr. Pinar, on behalf of Mr. Shavangu.
Sorry, my lady. My lady, I expect, as indicated previously, my lady, Mr. Shabangu will not have questions for this witness.
Thank you.
May it please the court, my lady.
Ms. Mboweni.
May it please the court, my lady, I also don't have any questions for this witness.
Mr. Manamela. Then Mr. Pichela. Mr. Pichela, are you there? I'm going
Thank you. We have no questions for the witness.
Are you in the car, Mr. Pichela?
That is so, my lady. I'm having problems connecting.
Dr. Kekana, I don't know whether she has joined the meeting later or me and Mr. Veselu. They should be told that they must attend this because they haven't been represented in the proceedings. It doesn't suffice for them to watch on YouTube.
My lady, I see Beauty Kekana is present in the meeting. She tried to appear on the screen. I think she might have problems with connectivity.
Okay. Dr. Kekana, are you there? Yes, you are still muted, but I can see from your mouth, you say you don't have questions. Am I just going to leave it at that, Mr. Back to Mr. Profi.
My lady, just 2 points of clarity and an additional question for the witness. Doctor, in respect of Deborah, were you informed of her arrival?
My lady, Deborah came on the 23rd of March in the afternoon. She was said to be, she came with a group of other 6 ladies for a leave of absence.
So you were aware of her arrival?
I was aware of her arrival because the nursing manager informed me that they have received 7 ladies from Life Esidimeni Randfontein.
What measures did you put in place in respect of Deborah?
Not only Deborah, when I arrived at Takalani, I had to put in the CCTV cameras around the facility, inside and out, for proper monitoring and securing that the users there, because they are intellectually disabled, to be taken care of and be supervised. And it's also a managerial tool to ensure that users are being taken care of properly.
Then did you or the staff know of her propensity to eat rubbish?
The nursing manager informed the staff and myself as well, because she told me that she saw it in the periodical report when they arrived, that she's the one who fetched them from Life Esidimeni, and she came and informed the staff, and she informed me as well that there is one user who is said to be eating rubbish and she must be closely monitored.
With that knowledge, what measures did you put in place for Deborah?
The nursing manager, with all of them, these 7 ladies, because they were there for a leave of absence, she allocated them to a cottage. The cottage has got single bedrooms there. So each one of them were allocated a bedroom. And Deborah was put right in front of the care worker so that she can monitor her closely.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, my last question is more a reliance of you to be assistance to the court in respect of your executive position at Life Esidimeni, as well as your Harvard education and your time at the review board. The question is very simple. It's in respect of an outdated periodic table. If a facility provides an outdated periodic report, is that non-compliance with the Mental Health Care Act?
As part of the review board, one of our roles was to ensure that
If I may interrupt it,
just before you respond, there is an objection here. Can the doctor excuse us for now? Just excuse us, thank you.
Thank you, my lady. I submit that there is no basis regarding relevance for this question, specifically not in the light of the evidence that was given yesterday by Dr. Mkachwa, and that there is, from the evidence of this witness, unless it's related to any specific patient and related to that patient's death, there is no relevance to this line of inquiry.
Mr. Profi?
Mr. Verbergen took Mr. Mkachwa through what he considered to be the reasons for the inadequacies, and even though he conceded that they were outdated, they were later remedied by Dr. Ismail's statements. So my mere question to this witness, given her experience across all boards, is that an outdated PD is so I find it relevant to Mr. Van Bracken's own evidence.
Well, where are we getting with this, given the evidence that we had yesterday regarding the fact that whatever they received, according to Dr. Mkachwa, would not have been disabled them to continue with the further treatment of the patients?
Correct, my lady, but the buck stops at, in terms of the act, that if it's the purposes for why it needs to be up to date.
Well, all right. She can just answer and then we let's hear Ms. Merritt.
Thank you, my lady. My lady, my respectful submission, this doesn't take the issue of pertaining to causality any further. I do not see the relevance.
Yes, Mr. Van Bergen, I don't think you're going to prolong this, please.
Yes, if I may just reply to Mr. Profi's address, my lady, it goes back to the individualization of cases. It doesn't help to make blanket sweeping statements without indicating that the deficiency that one complains of has caused the death or contributed to the death of a specific patient. So unless Mr. Profi intends doing that, I submit that this line should not be allowed.
Thank you.
My lady, I'm not sure if I need to respond to that, if I may ask the question.
Yes, in my view, the question it's not allowed.
As the court pleases. My lady, then I have no further questions for the witness.
Can the witness come back? Yes, Mr. I see. Yes, you can just close your cross-examination properly while the witness is there, Mr. Profi.
Doctor, thank you for your time. I've got no further questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mesasi.
My lady, may I be permitted to ask one follow-up question based on the questions of my learned friend, Mr. Profi?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, my lady. It's in relation to the CCTV cameras, Dr. Sekoukuni. When did you install these?
My lady, immediately when I went to Takaladi, one of the areas of supervision, it's to install CCTVs, and I cannot recall the actual date, but it was shortly after I came in because I had to raise funds. Then that was in 2012. I had to raise funds and ensure that every area is covered with CCTV. This is a practice that we normally do when we are dealing with people with intellectual disability, particularly the severe and profound, because they cannot report on what is happening around them.
Thank you, Ms. Asif.
Thank you. So was this a way of monitoring the users? Was this a way of was it a way of monitoring the users?
Yes, in most intellectual disabled centers, you'll find that they do install CCTVs to ensure that they monitor and protect the intellectual disabled people.
So who would be reviewing the CCTV footage? Would there be someone 24 hours watching the CCTV cameras?
The monitors were installed in the manager's office and in the perimeters outside of the wards. It was placed in the security room.
And there was 24 hours, there was someone monitoring those cameras 24 hours?
On the perimeters outside, yes. But inside the wards, the manager will come in and then rewind and see what has been happening during the time when he was not on the premises, be it in the day or in the evening. He'll do that.
So it wasn't that there was somebody monitoring the footage 24 hours live?
No, it was not, except, like I said, on the perimeters outside.
Thank you. In Deborah Petler's room, was there a camera?
Yes, all the cottages were fitted with CCTVs, but not inside the room, but in front of on the passage in front of their rooms.
So there were cameras in the passages, but there wasn't a camera in the room where Deborah Petler slept?
No, because she was her room was basically in front of the station where the nurse was placed.
The fact of the matter is that it was not in her room. They were only in the passages.
It was not in her, in the rooms of those, because you respect their privacy, especially when they are in the cottages, especially those ladies there. We did not have to put them under that close surveillance.
What else was in Deborah Petler's room?
The bed and the wardrobe. I think there was a small locker there as well.
There were no desks or anything like that?
No, my lady.
Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Profi, you want to follow up on these questions?
If the court would permit me, please, my lady. Doctor, the manager responsible for the viewing of the footage, did he report anything to you in respect of Deborah?
No, he did not. Even during the, because they called the police following the death, they told the investigating officer that there is a footage, the CCTV, which he could go and view. So nothing was reported that was untoward.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm indebted to the court for the indulgence.
Thank you. I'm going to excuse the witness, Ms. Marot. Before I do that, are there any questions to what the witness has just testified about now?
No questions. Thank you, my lady.
Thank you. The witness is excused. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my lady.
Yes. Where are we now, Ms. Marut?
My lady, those are the witnesses that was arranged for today. We indicated for tomorrow, Patricia Mabacha will testify pertaining to Butleb and Corsi. And then Advocate Petlela indicated that he will be ready with Dorothy Tranks. I don't know whether there will be other NGOs that he can be ready with, maybe the same day even, as there's not a lot of questions for these witnesses.
Yes, Mr. Late.
My lady, before we proceed with Mr. Pichela's clients, we still have the further cross-examination of Mrs. Sanele Buthelezi.
Yes.
If we can just have an indication when she will be available. And I know Mr. Shambangu is not here now. If Mr. Pina can just ask him to give us an indication when Ms. Nyatlu will be available.
Mrs. Nyatlu.
Yeah, Mrs. Nyatlu will be available. I want to email a list of remaining witnesses, a sequential list of remaining witnesses. I'm going to email it as I propose it, but there might be changes depending on the availability of Ms. Buthelezi and Mrs. Nyatlu.
Yes, and I've asked, yes, that will assist because I've asked for a list of updated witnesses.
Yes, I'm only going to send a list of remaining witnesses.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Van Bergen, any news on Ms. Buthelezi?
Thank you, my lady. My instructing attorney did make inquiries yesterday, my lady, and the response was that Ms. Buthelezi will not be able to attend for purposes of giving evidence during this term.
This term or this week?
Well, this term. We end next Wednesday, I think, my lady. She won't be available this week or next week.
So she's not going to be available for this term?
No.
Regarding who's the other one? Mr. Pichela? Mr. Pichela? Mr. Late, did I forget something else before I go to Mr. Pichela?
Regarding Ms. Nyatlu, my lady.
Yes. Mr. Pina, thank you very much.
May it please the court, my lady.
Would you please inquire from Mr. Shabangu as to what is his position currently?
I will inquire, my lady. I may just mention at this stage that his disposition or his illness took a turn for the worse last night, but I'll contact him, and then as soon as I've got feedback, I'll relay it to the court, my lady.
Or you can talk to you can relay the evidence leaders. Yes.
Yes, my lady. I will relay it to Mr. Layton and Miss Marriott, or the evidence leaders also, Miss Lady. And regarding the position of Miss Nyatlu.
Yes, thank you very much.
May it please the court, my lady.
Mr. Pichela, are you there? Mr. Pichela? Perhaps he's still having connectivity problems. Mr. Late, can the matter be taken up with him? Let us know, if possible, in the morning tomorrow or in the late afternoon, once you have contacted him.
We'll do so, my lady.
Yes, so we're going to adjourn these proceedings until tomorrow morning for the evidence of Ms. Mbacha.
As the court pleases, my lady.
Okay. The proceedings are adjourned until tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.
May it please the court.
May it please the court, my lady.
As the court pleases.
May it please the court, my lady.
As the court pleases, my lady.
Where are you from now?